And now we're moving on to the third session where we have Thomas Nordstorm, KNX Training and Project Support Manager at Schneider Electric. He will be introducing Schneider Electric's SpaceLogic KNX Actuators, which are easy to configure and commission, saving time and money in planning, installation, and maintenance. Thomas, we are all ears for your presentations. Over to you.
Thank you, Daphne, for the introduction. Welcome to a technical product presentation of the SpaceLogic KNX switch, blind and dimmer master and extension range. First, I will introduce the hardware and then the main software functions in ETS6. This assortment of DIN rail mounted actuators consists of KNX master devices and non-KNX extension units to add channels. It also enables a mix of switching, dimming and blind control functions within a single KNX device. The concept is just updated. The master devices now support KNX Data Secure and various optimizations have also been implemented. The reference number has got an S in the end compared to previous versions. The concept offers great flexibility and cost efficiency and now security as well. The SpaceLogic KNX Switch Blind Master is a universal actuator for combining switch and blind shutter functions. It has 8 powerful but yet fast relays offering 8 switching or 4 blind shutter functions or a free combination in between. The Switch Blind Master is a standard KNX Data Secure device powered solely via the twisted pair bus. The number of channels can be extended with up to 2 extensions. Each extension has the same module size and channel possibilities as the master. The extensions are connected to the master via pluggable connectors and programmed and powered via the master. The universal dimmer master has 2 channels with a power rating from 2 to 350 watt. It can control LED lamps and compact fluorescent lamps and of course halogen and incandescent lamps. The dimming master is a standard KNX Data Secure device powered solely via the twisted pair bus. Up to 2 extension actuators can be connected to the dimmer master. In this case, each extension can be either a dimmer extension with the same channel possibilities as the dimmer master, or a switch blind extension with 8 switching or 4 blind shutter. It means a very flexible solution. Here is an overview of the possible combination for the switch blind and dimmer actuators. The switch blind master can have 1 or 2 switch blind extensions. This leads up to 24 switch channels or 12 blind shutter channels or any combination in between. The dimmer can have 1 or 2 dimmer extensions, which leads up to 6 dimmer channels. The dimmer master also supports switch and blind extensions. It is then possible to mix switch blind and dimming extensions to a dimming master in any combination. Here is a short video showing the concept. The master and extension actuator range comprise benefits for the entire project life cycle. Just to mention some few due to time constraints in this presentation. Easier planning and deployment due to combined functionality, less references and unified module size. Flexibility when requirements are changing. Faster commissioning due to less devices and optimized download behavior in the devices. Optimized design to generate less heat and distribute the heat in a more efficient way than regular devices. This reduces the risk of failure due to overheated components and prolongs the lifetime of the devices. Replacement of an extension device without the need of ETS download. And firmware updates for bug fixes and new features can be done via micro USB or via the bus. Let me show you the most used functions of the devices in ETS 6. The devices are using the channel concept of the ETS, which facilitates the configuration. In the below topology panel, you can see the group objects as I change parameters. The configuration starts with general settings. The first information you see is about a pin code related to firmware update via the micro USB port. For security reasons, it is necessary to set a pin code under extended settings to be able to use the port. Firmware update can also be done by the bus. Begin by selecting how many extensions you want to use. Select the function for each channel, switch, roller shutter, without slat adjustment or blind with slat adjustment. When you select shutter or blind, the following channel will be occupied, as 2 channels are required. The extended settings concern settings for the device itself, or settings concerning all channels. This includes, for example, cyclical sending of live signal, counters, sending delays, manual operation mode settings, and weather alarm functions for the drive channels. And the earlier mentioned pin code. When connected to the bus, it is possible to read out current firmware version and uptime, meaning the time since last download or device restart. Moving on to the settings for a switch channel. The most common parameters for a pure switch function are available under Express settings. All channels can be given a name which appears in the parameter tree as well as on each group object. This makes configuration easier, faster, and mistakes can be avoided. It also facilitates the project maintenance. Scenes can be enabled from here and be configured on a separate page. Each channel has its own scene module with a scene input object and up to 16 scenes. The scenes can optionally be named to facilitate later maintenance. Additional functions can be displayed by the Extended Settings checkbox. Under Time Settings, you find a fixed and a variable staircase timer function. Fixed means the time is set in ETS, and variable that the time factor is received via group object. The staircase time objects are internally all linked with the switch object. It means the switch object works as permanent on function that overrides the timer when set to 1. Adding mode means each new received telegram will add a staircase lighting time to the already running time. For example, by pressing a button once gives 2 minutes, pressing 2 times gives 4 minutes, and so on. On and off delays can be set individually and means that the execution of on and off commands will be delayed. Which functions the delay should work on can be selected. The logic function enables a logic group object that works together with a switch object in logic AND, or XOR operation. The device has certain priority order between the functions. So far we have looked on the lowest priority level of functions, which all works in parallel with each other. Now we come to functions that have higher priority and if activated will override the other functions. The locking function is a 1-bit object. The relay behavior by start and end of locking can be specified. Option follows current value by ending the lock function means the relay position is decided by functions on the next active priority level. The priority function enables a 2-bit priority object. The benefit is that 2 priority states can be controlled with a single group address. The function is like a conventional off, out to on switch. The functions can be used to override automatic functions like time switches, brightness control, and movement detectors in certain situations, or block manual functions, for example push buttons, in public buildings, at public admittance, or in case of events. The alarm function is almost the same as the locking function. It can have a higher or lower priority, which is defined in the global extended settings. An additional option is that the relay can blink when the alarm is active. The relays are bistable and can be positioned by bus voltage failure, bus voltage recovery, and after download. Let's move over to a blind channel. First parameters concern the full running time of the blind. The up and down time is used to position the blind between 0 and 100%. Separate up and down times can be specified if required. The next parameters concern the slat control, the time for full slat rotation, and the desired number of steps for stepwise slat adjustment by the 1-bit stop-step object. Apart from the mandatory 1-bit objects, objects for height and slat position, as well as 4 status feedback objects are available as default. The C module can also be enabled from the express settings as for the switch function. That is all to consider for manual control. More functions are available by extended settings. The positioning of the drive is done by time. There is no physical feedback from the drive. For special drives, small time adjustments for certain actions can be specified to improve position accuracy. Automatic mode is to be used when the drive should be controlled by weather station, brightness sensor, time switch, or similar. By enabling the automatic control, a second set of objects working in parallel to the 4 manual objects will be available. The response of telegrams received on the manual and automatic objects are identical, same priority, so the last telegram decides. The benefit of having a double set of objects is that they can be locked individually. The automatic control can be influenced by the object lock of automatic mode, but also if manual operation is performed by the user. Automatic mode can then be reactivated automatically after a specified time. So far we have looked on the lowest priority level of functions, which all works in parallel with each other. Several additional functions on different priority levels are available for flexible usage and fulfillment of various project requirements. Unfortunately, the time is not enough to elaborate on these in this presentation. Finally, let's have a quick look on the Universal Dimmer Master. As mentioned, the Universal Dimmer Master accepts both switch blind and dimmer extensions. The functions available for switch and blind shutter channels are identical to the switch blind master. For a dimmer channel, the express settings concern switch on brightness level, dimming curve, and on-off functionality for the 4-bit relative dimming and 1-byte absolute dimming objects. Of course, each dimming channel also have an own scene module with 16 scenes. Enabling extended settings reveal additional functions. The dimming times can be specified for each function individually. It is also possible to activate a second set of dimming times. The dimming times for this set is specified via group objects. Via object enable dimming time object, you switch between ETS parameterized times and time set via objects. In this way, it's possible to have different dimming times in different situations or times of the day. For scenes and central function, a fading time, or same dimming time as we call it, with variable dimming speed can be used instead of a fixed dimming speed. This time can also be controlled via the bus. The higher priority functions, locking, priority, alarm, and safety function for a dimmer channel are the same as for a switch channel. That was a quick walkthrough of the switch, blind, and dimmer master and extension concept from Schneider Electric. Thank you very much for your time.